is the Melchiorre model ELC 810 double-sided fine grinding machine.
We good to go? Yeah, you come on up here. I've got the loading table in position here. Control, of course, starting with the control. I might as well just show some of this because we start with this, the standard push buttons for plate, dual pumps for auto cycle, speed, rotate. Right now, this is just, there's only about 6 or 7 that matter. Speed, rotation, shows all the feedback on what the planetary or the sun gear is doing. Upper and lower plate, it shows that all in real time during operation. Here's where you set your program on the next page in terms of times, number of seconds, whatever stage grinding you're doing. We are told right now, in fact, I want to do a time cycle, so we'll do a time cycle. Complete cycle is good. These are the ramps, these are the pressures. I've got them set pretty low just to sit here with 30, then up to 300, then down to 200 for the finished program, and then out. So that's just gives you an idea of the way it ramps up in terms of pressure. Measuring systems we won't get into, but this is all for the probe. Probe up, probe down, you can set all your numbers, everything, and then it jumps over to general parameters. Again, just tells the machine what it can do, various counters, cycle timers for the cycle, it's all settable. And that's where we're at. And monitoring parameters, again, these are just graphs and feedback on what your program's doing for you. Recipes and editing, this is where you bring up extra jobs that are saved. This job currently has nothing on it, it's all zeros, because I'm just running in a manual mode right now with a semi-auto cycle. System utilities, just what they are, alarm history, alarms, password editing. And the last one, of course, is the one we kind of work in, is manual buttons and stuff. And this is where you manually start and stop the wheels. We can do that in a minute. As soon as we do a quick walk around, we'll play with a few buttons. I have some extra carriers here that just happen to be laying here that we can load some of these up just so I can rust down on these and do, like I said, a somewhat of an auto cycle. So if you want to start on this side, work your way around. Upper plate is up right now, the guard is up. This will all come down whenever I hit cycle start. There's the cylinder up there. And that is servo driven up there. The upper plate is also servo driven. It's got an air package on the side, but it's basically servo driven for vertical up and down on the plate. So it's not all air. This box has servo, where you at? You up high? Yeah, down through here. Yeah, water coming in, various lines. Not much else on this side, really, except for the electrical cabinet. The back side of the electrical cabinet, you can kind of see in here. Got the Siemens PLC up there. Some ice cube relays, a couple of other ones, not much else going on up here. Light switches for the lights. Over on the other side are the main drive components and conveyor, of course. Walk around. And you can kind of see over here, this is the conveyor, not really conveyor, it's the loading table that mounts onto that aluminum plate that we just passed by. That's a big slate plate. We took that off just to have room here. And of course there's the Siemens package, Sine Drive 611 with all the drives on here. And again, just standard starters and relays. As you come across, I don't know if you can see down over here or not, on your left, is the air package for the rest of the machine, whatever's going on in terms of what's happening up front with the cycle. 3 or 4 different regulators, gauges, that's all pneumatics down there. And this is our lubrication pump. Comes on every couple minutes for about 5 seconds, keeps pressure up there. Light tower, and this is all water system here. That's all this is. I got the piece off right now just to simulate water pressure on so we can run the machine. So, like I said, this is loading platform here. That's what this big guy attaches to. We'll leave this all the way back home position. This is my temporary flow switch right here that I just kind of keep that all happy. So that's my flow switch fault, which is that right there. So I'm going to acknowledge that. reset it, and maybe get right into some manual commands here. Like for one, if we get on this side, maybe you can kind of see, I'm going to hit top wheel start. That's just a jog situation, just to watch them around. And then you've got bottom wheel start, opposite direction. It's just a predefined jog speed, nice and easy. And you've got carrier here down low, and that'll go for, it's set up for 4 parts right now. So if I just hold, it kind of stops on its own right there. And if you watch up here, let me get over to the other speed rotation, and you could kind of catch that up here. I'm going to index that carrier plate around. You see the blue? See the blue go around? So it also shows you what rotation it's going in. So this is all active imagery as it's moving. And if I'm not mistaken, let me do the upper plate again. I think, oh, I can't do that from here. It's the other screen. But when it's moving in auto cycle, you'll see those go around. I'll leave this screen up. That said, we've also, in the manual mode, we got the pin ring. I can just jump on that real fast. External ring, go down. That'll just keep going till it limits, but going up, I have to hold the button. And going back up, we'll leave that up in there. And if you look, you can kind of see in there, that is the probe right there. There's very little movement on it. You can't see both, but if I just so much as breathe on that thing, it registers up in the probe reading up on the screen here. Right now, it's, of course, it's spring loaded. It's full out at 350. And I think, here, leave the camera on there. I'll just barely touch it. I think you can get that to move. Yeah, see, if I just barely touch it, it even goes into minus, see? Now I moved that about, God, it wasn't much. Not even a 16th of an inch. And back up to 350. We're not using it for my current setup. I'm just going to lay a couple of plates in here and bring those around. And just bring the plate down, let it run for a few seconds, just kind of get a feel for what it all looks like. It'll only take a second here. We'll drop these in there. I just don't want to grind the wheels together. Be better off being on the carriers. Great setup, man. How can you do this? Keep going. Making money. Okay. Rings are up. We're good. I can, in manual mode, bring it down. Let's just jump right into it. I can bring it down in manual and go back up. I'm just going to jump into auto and go twin palms down one time. That brings the gate. I have to hold these until the gate's down. Now I have to get off and then get back on. Here's our rapid. Let me get on forces and times. So we're rapiding on the first part of the control here. It'll slow down right about there. Now I've stopped it way soon, so now it's going to take about 10 seconds to float down on there. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on one second. My cutting fluid, I forgot to shut it off. Let me reset that, and we'll continue. That should make it happy. Cutting fluid, acknowledge. I forgot to pull it off there, so it's looking for water right now. And let me make sure cutting fluid reset fault. Let me get it back on. It's the only one I have to get around there. And reset maybe. And I know I can do this. Reset. It's still good there. Oh, okay. Then motor's back on. Here we go. We should be all right. There. And if I hit this on, now if I go back into auto, I have to shut that off right away and let it think that there's water coming up. So I'm going to hit this. We'll try it again. Down. Take this off. Ah, there we go. Now we're on slow approach. I've just got this laying there. It's just a prop switch. Wants to see the water float switch move. So now we're still on slow approach. It's coming down. Once it settles in, it'll time out for 5 seconds and ramp up very slowly up to 80 RPM, I think. Both plates are going, hear them? Yeah, they got a real slow start on both of these. Now, I don't know if you look down in there, once we're up and running, if you can see that sprockets going around, you kind of got to look through the center glass here. Look through these middle ones. They're not as tinted, I think. Through here. Yeah, these are clear. I think if you just get up there, you'll see it go by. Here comes the next one. See them? So all three are turning. Upper plate, lower plate, and the sun gear. They're all just, there goes another one. So this will go on for a while because we're not really making any parts. So I'll let this go for a few seconds. I'm just going to hit plates up now. If you want to pull back, I'm just going to hit plates up and discontinue the auto cycle as if it were finished. Let's stop. Yeah. Now it takes a 5-second, and usually if I had parts in here, it would rotate very slowly and then come up after this 5-second pause so that it doesn't stick. You hear the lube pump come on? That just built pressure. It takes about 2 seconds. This is coming up, and then the guard will follow. So watch yourself. Yeah, you're good right there. And that comes out. And of course, then we go back in the manual, and we can kind of start pull our carriers off of there wherever we want to go. So yeah, I guess that's what this little hole's for. I don't know, it just kind of works. So just to give you an idea. So yeah, those would come off. Actually, the parts would come out right here. Really, actually, what happened right now is I would lower the ring gear, and this big platform loading table, I'd move this wouldn't be here, and this thing would come all the way in like this, and you come all the way in with the loading table, slide your parts and stuff onto the main table. So this all works good. It'll just sit there like that until we hit auto cycle again. Up and running. It's currently 460 volts, and it's a good operating tool. And you got the books on the side here. I don't know if you caught any of this, but we got some documentation for it. It's all good docs on it. And that's about it, sir.